your case for. They know which law firms can lowball and take the last best offer. Not us. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Meet Max. He's a beer cheese newbie, and he's setting out to discover Winchester's beer cheese trail. From appetizers to lunch favorites to the unexpected, there's a spicy, cheesy treat for everyone's taste. And sampling all of them is even easier with the Beer Cheese Trail Digital Passport. Sign up to earn cool prizes and become a top taster. Nice job, Max. Winchester's Beer Cheese Trail. If you can dream it, we can cheese it.
Now at 11, the University of Kentucky breaking ground on a new health education building. And police confirming the death of the alleged mass shooter suspect in Maine.
I'm Chief Meteorologist TJ Shucks. Some rain returning on this Friday. A few leftover showers in far eastern Kentucky. We've cleared out temporarily, but don't put away the rain gear just yet. Your Storm Team forecast is coming up.
You're watching ABC 36 on your side. News at 11.
Good evening and welcome in. I'm Cindy St. Clair in for Paxton Boyd. Well, breaking national news to a developing story. Police confirming the alleged mass shooter in Maine has been found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound 2 days after police say he killed 18 people and injured 13 others. Authorities revealing details in a press conference a short time ago. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest from Lewiston.
A 48-hour manhunt coming to an end Friday night, police finding the body of 40-year-old Robert Card.
Like many people, I'm breathing a sigh of relief tonight knowing that Robert Card is no longer a threat to anyone.
Card was found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
And tonight, the city of Lewiston and the state of Maine begin to move forward on what will be a long and difficult road to healing, but we will heal.
Authorities had been zeroing in on this river. Card's car had been discovered near the boat launch there shortly after Wednesday's deadly rampage that left 18 dead and 13 injured. Meanwhile, officials releasing the identities of those who were killed at a local bowling alley in the town of Lewiston, that and a restaurant several miles away. So many of the victims leaving young children behind. Arthur Strout was a father of 5.
People loved him. You know, they just loved him.
The youngest victim, Aaron Young, was just 14, killed along with his father Bill in the bowling alley.
Aaron loved to bowl, and it was something they did fairly regularly, and it just happened to be that night.
David Greenleaf and Lisa Osgood also were inside the bowling alley when gunfire broke out. Lisa's best friend, Trisha Aslan, was killed while trying to call 911. David says he saw the suspect drive away past police.
I thought maybe someone got out and was leaving, but they drove so casual. Turns out it was him.
Authorities lifting the shelter-in-place advisory as the search for Card continues, saying businesses can choose whether or not to open.
How do you feel knowing he's still out there?
Afraid.
ABC News has learned Card's sister told investigators she thought her brother may have been going after an ex-girlfriend who was frequently in the bowling alley. Sources tell ABC News that authorities found a suicide note addressed to Card's son with rantings and bank information inside, but no specific motive. Rena Roy, ABC News, Lewiston, Maine.
Top story at 11. The University of Kentucky held their groundbreaking ceremony this week for a new 5,000 square foot health education building. ABC 36's Ramey Cohen spoke with UK's Dean of Medicine. He says this building is a game changer for the Commonwealth.
We have such healthcare needs in the Commonwealth. That was magnified by the COVID epidemic, and it's just gotten worse and worse. We have so many folks that need our care.
This building will be the largest academic building in the history of the University of Kentucky. Dr. Chipper Griffith is the Dean of the College of Medicine. He says this will allow the university to increase their class size from 200 to 250 students.
What does that mean? Well, if you think about this, 50 physicians, if each of them takes care of, let's say, 5,000 patients in their doctor lifetime, that's 250,000 more people that have a doctor just 1 year of this training year. Over 4 years, it's 1 million.
It will be the hub of training and education for the next generation of health professionals in the Commonwealth. The building will include public health, health sciences, and nursing programs to help address the ongoing shortage of healthcare workers, including physicians, nurses, and physical therapists.
So this is going to change the access to health care for so many of our patients in the Commonwealth just with this building alone is allowing us. We're going to be one of the largest medical schools in the country, for example, right here in Kentucky.
That was Ramey Cohen reporting. The health building is expected to be complete by fall 2026. Let's get a check with that first check of that forecast meteorologist TG Shuck. TG, rainy day today, but it's a beautiful night tonight.
Yeah, it's turned out okay, Sydney. We had that rain, as you mentioned, this afternoon, but then it cleared out and literally cleared out where we had the moon out and still do. Kind of cloudy earlier along with some of those showers, but a pretty fall day with all those colors really beaming out there. We're heading toward peak here over the next couple of weeks. A few little light showers left over, but you can kind of see the gap where we've cleared out. Now, farther west, there's some additional rain, which will be working eastward during the overnight hours. Should be in here sometime tomorrow morning. Bluegrass Pace Care, Skyview HD Camera Network, Hickson Funson Cam. Checking out Hamburg East Side of Lexington, clear and 65. You can thank that south wind, which is still up at around 10 miles per hour, holding our temperatures in check. Look at that. Most locations, all locations, at least into the low 60s, if not mid to upper 60s. And you can start to see that colder air creep into the region back to the northwest. Now, keep in mind, it's not going to be in here until Sunday night into Monday, so we're still looking pretty mild. A few showers around tomorrow afternoon. Hopefully we'll squeeze in a dry window for Kentucky and Tennessee at Kroger Field. Rain really picks up tomorrow night into Sunday, and then that cold air comes plunging in early next week. Your Storm Team forecast is on the way.
Mental health, it's a topic many avoid talking about, especially with the stigmas that come with having depression or anxiety. Officials say the airline pilot who allegedly tried to crash a plane in Washington and the alleged mass shooter in Maine were both suffering from mental illness. EKU professor and psychologist Dan Florell spoke with ABC 36 on the importance of mental health.
I think mental health and mental illness can sneak up on people. And I think just because you were okay 6 months ago doesn't mean that you're currently okay. We all have coping resources that we've developed over the years, right? And usually the older you are, the more you've had to cope with, the better you are at withstanding certain levels of stress. But there comes a point in time in everybody's life where those coping resources may no longer be adequate.
Investigators say the alleged airline pilot who reportedly tried to crash an Alaska airline flight had been struggling with depression for 6 years.
With the airline pilot, you know, there's also a huge stigma in that community because there's some real risk. As you might imagine, they don't want people that have certain mental illnesses or mental disorders piloting planes.
Dr. Florell says those who don't suffer from mental illness can't understand why people do these things.
Well, I think until you go through experiences like that, you don't realize, you know, most of us who are not dealing with that and coping with those situations, we can step back and think with the logical part of our mind. When you're in the depths of anxiety and depression, those options do not become apparent to you.
Signs someone may be struggling with their mental health are
people that begin to worry, appetite will change. Either they'll start eating more or more likely not eat as much. You've got sleep also that becomes disturbed.
And for those who may be struggling right now, Dr. Florell says this.
Whether it's a diagnosis or not really doesn't matter. If you're hurting enough where it's changing your behaviors, it's keeping you up at night, it probably wouldn't hurt to be able to talk to somebody.
Well, coming up, it's Friday Night Football. Time for the End Zone with Jeff Pecoro. We'll be right back.
Well, heading into the weekend, it's going to be mild, as you see, over the next 36 hours. A few showers tomorrow afternoon, but the rain really picks up heading into Sunday, and that colder air not far off. Your Storm Team forecast after the break.
Uncle Rick, what are you doing?
I'm trying to stay cooler in my man cave.
Well, this is a beer cave, and you can't stay in this cooler forever. But Clark's Pub & Shop can get you through the dog days of summer.
Whether it's fountain drinks at the lowest price or you're filling up the cooler for the family and friends, Clark's has the widest selection, the best prices, and the most helpful staff you'll find anywhere.
Beat the heat at Clark's Pub & Shop.
return, refresh, refuel.
With FanDuel, every night is a watch party. New customers bet $5 to get $150 bonus if your team wins. Bet all the stars with all your friends and tell them that they get 3 months of NBA League Pass on us with any $5 bet. Only on FanDuel. New customers bet $5, get $150 bonus if your team wins. Plus NBA League Pass on us.
The final stone of the championship.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. Roger, this is looking good. We believe every moment in sports should be epic. Is that curling? Nah.
This morning's news, curling fever has taken over the world.
So whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
When you watch ABC 36 News, you'll see a difference.
Protecting you from severe weather without the hype.
We're your friends and neighbors, and we are on your side.
ABC 36, we're on your side.
While Russell Coleman gave sweetheart plea deals to dangerous sex offenders, Colonel Pam Stevenson spent 27 years protecting our country and prosecuting violent crime. Colonel Pam Stevenson for Attorney General.
Well, after a really nice week of weather here in central and eastern Kentucky, some rain showers returning on this Friday. We had a few lingering this evening out into the east part of the state, but boy, it cleared off after the rain. Now, temperatures are going to vary tomorrow from north to south. Still mild across the board with a few showers. Solid rain chances Sunday and Monday. And, of course, the much advertised colder air. That'll be in here by the time we hit Halloween. There are the few leftover showers, but we have had some clearing here in the bluegrass and now beginning to spread across southern and out across west central Kentucky. Won't last long. We'll start to fill the clouds back in a bit during the overnight as a few scattered showers continue to work eastward. Our Bluegrass Pace Care Sky VHC camera network, Richmond AKU, it's clear there. 63. Our winds have stayed up this evening out of the south and southwest at about 5 to 10, occasionally a little higher than that. So everyone well into the 60s across the area. So we're looking good temperature-wise. And you see back to the west here, because it's hard to see that colder air. It's not going to be until Sunday night. So the bulk of the weekend, we're in good shape with our temperatures. 65 to start. We did see 72 before the rain arrived around the lunch hour here in Lexington. 64 and 43, the average high and low. High pressure setting over the Carolinas. There's your frontal boundary. It's going to slowly creep in here overnight and into the day tomorrow. Now, waking up tomorrow morning, scattered clouds, a few showers here and there. We'll see that off and on through the afternoon, but into the evening hours, at least some of the data indicating that we should stay dry. Notice how close these showers are, and they begin to increase in coverage and intensity late in the evening, probably around the time the game's wrapping up. For the tailgaters tomorrow afternoon, yeah, a few showers around. And, of course, just take the rain gear into Kroger Field tomorrow evening, even though I think the bulk of the evening will be dry. It's going to be breezy, and it is going to be mild, just like it is out there tonight. To have a night game at Kroger Field in October, this deep in October, it's pretty unusual for it to be that mild. You see the rain really spreading eastward here. Still okay temperature-wise Sunday, but that low moves through, and then that opens the door for the chilly air. Only 50 on Monday with the rain continuing, so it will be a cool rain. And then we're going to see that colder air that we've talked about much of the week arriving as we hit Halloween. And you see some fairly healthy rainfall totals. That is good news considering the ongoing drought that we have across the area. So 7-day, a lot going on, of course. We'll be bouncing around temperature-wise. You see the drop-off into Monday, and then the rain comes to an end. A chilly Halloween, only 48 for the afternoon high. So, of course, you'll have to dress the kids appropriately for trick-or-treating that evening. And as we kick off November on Wednesday, mid-40s, and yes, we could see some morning lows in the mid to upper 20s. Growing season should come to an end with a hard freeze possible next week.
I'm a nurse and a single mom of 5 kids. Budgets get tight, especially with costs right now. But Andy Bashir crossed party lines to cut the income tax, putting more money in the pockets of families like mine. It'll make life easier for me and for so many other Kentuckians. Governor Bashir really cares about people, and it shows. He puts the needs of working families first, and it's making a real difference in people's lives.
As Kentucky families struggle, Joe Biden brags.
Bidenomics is working.
Andy Bashir agrees. Bashir backed Biden's disastrous economic policies. Now he's endorsing Biden for re-election.
This president delivered.
For Andy Bashir, he did, giving $250,000 to fund his agenda.
I want to thank the president.
Bashir's with Biden. Trump backs Daniel Cameron. If you stand with Trump, vote Cameron for governor. Club for Growth Action is responsible for the content of this ad.
All-wheel drive season is coming. Changes. Weather. Road conditions. What doesn't change? Toyota's capability to keep pushing on with a family of trucks built to outlast and outlive any adventure. Like the powerful new Tundra, the most capable Tundra ever, with towing up to 12,000 pounds and the best resale value in its class. Plus, you get 2 years no-cost maintenance. Change is coming. Stay ahead with Tundra. Toyota. Let's go places.
Former President Donald Trump is endorsing Attorney General Daniel Cameron in his run for governor of Kentucky.
Mr. President, I hope you can tell that Kentucky is Trump country.
I'm the only candidate endorsed by President Trump and the only candidate who stood up to Joe Biden. I fought the Biden agenda in court to defend Kentucky. Andy Bashir, he never will. As governor, I'll put Kentucky first, even when it's hard.
When severe weather strikes, the ABC 36 Storm Team has you covered.
Protecting you from severe weather without the hype.
First, fast, accurate.
And we know Kentucky.
The ABC 36 Storm Team, on your side. ABC 36 Sports End Zone, presented by Clark's Pump and Shop. Return, refresh, refuel.
Well, it's the last week of the regular season. Welcome into the End Zone. I'm Jeff Pecora alongside of Hallie DeVore. And Hallie, we were live at 5 and 6 over at the farm for Frederick Douglass because a huge game. You had 2 state champions facing off.
Yeah, we did. And Boyle County, they were coming into this game undefeated. So, you know, Frederick Douglass, we were talking earlier, they really had to be able to put up a defensive stop tonight if they wanted to beat this, you know, Boyle County team. They're a good offense. All
right, well, it's time for our Clark's Pump and Shop Game of the Week.
ABC 36 Sports Game of the Week, presented by Clark's Pump and Shop. Return, refresh, refuel.
All right, have each other's backs, answer the adversity, and just keep going. Got me? All right, there's going to be good, bad, ugly. All right, we got to continue with that adversity and go. All right, seniors, get us ready to go. It's your show. All right, captains are going to be with me. Let's go.
Well, that was Coach, but it was Boyle County that came out on fire. Sage Dawson rolls out. Who does he go to? Montavian Quisenberry with the catch. 7-0. Boyle County right out of the gate. They hold Frederick Douglass. They get it back, and guess what? They go right down the field again, and this time it's Avery Bodner with the 2-yard run, and they're up 14-0. Frederick Douglass, though, you knew they were going to come back. They're at the 30-yard line, and watch this play. This is sensational. Jackson Stroutman, the wide receiver, he's going to run a post pattern, and it looks like it's going to be an interception. Stroutman throws it. Cooper Ranvier just takes it away from the defensive back. What a great play by Cooper for the touchdown. That cuts it to 14-7. But it's that man again. This kid is just a junior, folks. I'm talking about Tavian Quisenberry. This was the backbreaker from 42 yards out. Look at that. Barry Sanders moved to the outside. He races to the end zone. That made it 21-7. Boyle goes on to win. Final 28-7. The 4A state champs win again their 13th undefeated season.
Yeah, the last time they were undefeated, 2020.
How about that? Nicely done. Franklin County wins over George Rogers Clark in a blowout there, 48-7. They remain undefeated on the year. And Tates Creek smacks West Jessamine 42-0.
All right, Sayre versus Bethlehem. The Sayre Spartans fighting tonight to remain undefeated. The Spartans are 9-0 on their season. Just like Boylan, they currently sit at 6 in the 1A. First quarter, Luke Pennington deep to Brock Kaufman makes the catch just short of the end zone. Travis Smith finishes the job and gets it in for the first touchdown of the night. Bethlehem with the ball. The running back gets through a few defenders before getting taken down, but when he goes down, he fumbles the ball. Spartans recover it and get things going back in their direction. And the fumble recovery does not go to waste. Quick handoff to Charlie Slaba as he rolls it into the end zone for another touchdown. Sayre remains undefeated. Final score, Sayre 46, Bethlehem 21. A couple more scores. Western Hills beats Frankfort tonight 42-35, and Southwestern, they heavily beat Henry Clay 45-8. Henry Clay goes undefeated the entire regular season this year. The 0-10 for Henry Clay. All right, stay with us. We have plenty more to come, including heading over to Lexington Catholic for their big tilt with Scott County.
Watch ABC 36 every Friday night for Chief Meteorologist T.J. Shuck's Bow Tie Friday Forecast. Brought to you by Stuart Mercer.
Football season is back. And with the Caesars Sportsbook app, you can be in the game all the time. Seeking instant action? Quick Picks offers you the most popular games and markets, already built for you and ready to bet. Experience the thrill when you stack your bets to create a super parlay. Build bets for your favorite teams and players across multiple games. This season, don't just watch the game. Download Caesars Sportsbook and experience the game like never before.
Yeah, you got this. So go on. Keno here. Keno here. Keno anywhere. Play Keno your way. Online or at your favorite Kentucky lottery retailer. Yeah, you got this.
A big thanks also to Governor Andy Beshear.
Biden has a lot to thank Beshear for. Beshear pushed Biden's radical transgender agenda, even lied about sex change surgery for kids.
A big thanks also to Governor Andy Beshear.
Thanks to Beshear, fewer people are working than when he took office.
A big thanks also to Governor Andy Beshear.
Thanks to Beshear, nearly 2,000 criminals are back on the streets.
A big thanks also to Governor Andy Beshear.
Biden and Beshear, thanks, but no thanks.
The pain level was over 10. There's days where I just sat and cried and asked the good Lord to take me. And my doctor recommended that I go to Good Feet and try the arch supports. And I took about 3-4 steps, turned around and went and sat back down and started to cry. It was the first time that I had no pain. I'm not an actor. I want people to know my testimony. I want them to know what arch supports can do from Good Feet.
See for yourself with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Rape, incest, they're some of the worst crimes imaginable. And politician Michael Adams wants to punish the victims. Adams opposes abortion exceptions for rape and incest. Adams even wants to restrict contraception. Buddy Wheatley spent his life protecting people. A fourth-generation firefighter and former Covington chief. Buddy will be a bipartisan Secretary of State. Vote Buddy Wheatley November 7th.
When severe weather strikes, the ABC 36 Storm Team has you covered.
Protecting you from severe weather without the hype.
First, fast, accurate.
And we know Kentucky.
The ABC 36 Storm Team on your side.
Hey, ready to go?
I sure am. My sleep has been great ever since I started treatment for sleep apnea.
Well, nearly 30 million adults have it, including me.
Now, let me guess. It was your snoring that gave it away?
Oh, yes, it was. Intense snoring is one of the classic signs.
Other signs include gasping for breath during sleep and daytime sleepiness. If untreated, the risk of heart disease and stroke increases.
I didn't know that, but I'm glad to hear the treatment can help.
Certainly can. To learn more about the warning signs, visit defendsleep.com.
ABC 36 Sports End Zone, presented by Clark's Pump and Shop. Return, refresh, refuel.
Welcome back in. Jeff McCord alongside of Hallie DeVore. And Hallie, This next game, Scott County has been on a roll. Their running game has been really good against a team in Lexington Catholic that I think has really found their stride. They had a tough go early in the season, but they're on some kind of a roll.
Yeah, they did play some tough teams early in the season, but the key for them tonight, like you just said, was stopping Scott County's run game. That's been their strength all this season. They knew that was going to be the key coming into the game. Let's see if they were able to do it.
The Cards come into this one with an 8-1 record overall and are the class of 5A. They're also scoring like it's going out of style, averaging 43 points a game this season. But here in the dungeon, Lexington Catholic has something to swing their swords about. The Knights have held their last 3 opponents scoreless, and Nick Bosch is looking to end off his first regular season here at Lex Cath with a win.
Picking things up in the second quarter, Scott County has a 7-0 lead over Lex Cath. Jackson Wasick throwing here, and it's almost intercepted by the Cardinals. A few plays later, though, Wasick, he gets his man throwing to Jackson Kreitzer. He scores the touchdown there, 7-7 even Stevens early in the second. Next Cardinal drive, the Knights get lucky. The third play of this one, it's intercepted by Catholic's number 59, Cannon Mackley. He goes all the way to the house for 6, 14-7 Lex Cath. That was the score at the half. The Cards getting right back out on the field to regain the lead that they think is theirs. Some trickery in the backfield on this play. The pass intercepted, though, by Lexington Catholic's Avon Blair. The Knights hand the Cards their second loss of the season, 21-20.
Great game there, 21-20. They hang on to win it. How about Paris smacking Ludlow 50-26, the final there. And Raceland, the top team in 1A, but Lexington Christian takes them out 48-21. This right here, a little bit of surprise, I think.
Yeah, big win. And Lexington Christian going on that, or them winning this game was their 8th game winning in a row. So good way to close the season for them.
Cutter Bowling and them are absolutely on a roll.
Yeah. All right, next we'll head down to Bryan Station as they take on Central Hardin. 7-3 Bryan Station looks to end their season on a high note. Starting things out in the second quarter, the tackle here does not stick, and Tiandre Clark runs it in for the touchdown to put the defenders up 34-0 at half. Second half, Central Hardin with an opportunity to put their first points on the board, but the kick is blocked and recovered by Bryan Station. The defenders wanting to get the clock running now as Trenton Cutright scrambles out of the pocket, sees an open lane, and takes it. Absolutely takes off, put the wheels on, and gets knocked out just a few yards short of the goal line, only almost taking Hallie out. And then here the running back shoves his way in to finish that off and make it a touchdown. Bryan Station winning it big time, 48-8.
Yeah, you know, Bryan Station sometimes this year has been their own worst enemy. If they could be penalty-free and play without mistakes, they got a really good football team. Harrison County a winner tonight, 46-31 over Garrett County. And great crossing. Good to see them back in the win column as they win at home as they take out Collins a final 42-34. All right, back with more when we return.
At the Cracker Barrel, freshly made food at a fair price is just what we do. In fact, we've got over 20 meals under $12, each served with a helping of care. Cracker Barrel, take care now.
For my patient, he's threatening to take away health care coverage from over 95,000 Kentuckians.
It's very scary that people are not going to have health coverage.
People will not be able to see their doctors. People will not be able to buy medicines.
Many rural hospitals will end up closing their doors.
Cameron is still following his pal, Matt Bevin.
I don't know why you do that.
I don't think Daniel Cameron understands what Kentuckians are going through.
And that is not acceptable for a governor.
With FanDuel, every night is a watch party. New customers bet $5 to get $150 bonus if your team wins. Bet all the stars with all your friends and tell them that they get 3 months of NBA League Pass on us with any $5 bet. Only on FanDuel. New customers bet $5, get $150 bonus if your team wins. Plus NBA League Pass on us.
At first, I used Better Than Bully
bouillon for broth, and then stir fries, sauces, even marinades. And now there's the culinary collection. Italian herb for pasta, smoky chipotle for fajitas. It's like the deliciousness never ends. Make everything better with Better Than Bouillon.
When the hands that do the fixing need fixing. When the hands that do the caring need caring. That's a job for O'Keeffe's Working Hands. It's America's #1 selling hand cream and guaranteed relief for extremely dry, cracked hands. Also available in O'Keeffe's for healthy feet.
At the Cracker Barrel, freshly made food at a fair price is just what we do. In fact, we've got over 20 meals under $12. Each served with a helping of care. Cracker Barrel. Take care now.
ABC 36 Sports End Zone. Presented by Clark's Pump and Shop. Return, refresh, refuel.
Welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. One more round of highlights to show you as we take you down to Woodford County. 6-2 Woodford County facing off against a 6-3 Ballard team out of Louisville. And we're going to start you off in the second quarter. Ballard struggled to make field goal and extra points for the most part of the night. And next play, Ballard second down near the end zone. The Bruins QB sneaking inside the house. The score is now 20-14, still a close one. And later, a quick backwards pass here to running back Darian Tomlin, who comes from behind to take it into the end zone. Yellow Jackets now leading 21-20. And last play here after halftime, Bruins ball. Damari Edelin gets the pass defense and makes a run straight into the house for a Bruins touchdown. All the way in the final score in Versailles, Bruins 50, Yellow Jackets 21. The Yellow Jackets face off against Dixie Heights next week in their final regular season game.